All rise. Welcome to the boardroom courtroom, everyone. I'll be your judge and legal training architect today. If you're looking to build an absolutely bulletproof argument and conquer the Cambridge AS and A-level Arabic Paper 4, you've stepped into exactly the right room. Consider this explainer your ultimate insider's playbook. Today, we are opening up the examiner's briefcase and breaking down the notorious 10-11 basic mark scheme. Now, I want you to imagine we're trying a case, a brutal 15-mark Cambridge question. And representing this case, we have two junior attorneys. On one side, we've got counsel Alex. Now, Alex has deep, heavy evidence files, but totally lacks a closing argument. On the other side, there's counsel Sam. Sam is an incredibly persuasive speaker, but brings absolutely zero physical case study backing to the stand. Today, we're going to fix both of them.
So why are we focusing so heavily on this specific mark scheme? Well, because the 10-11 basic scheme accounts for roughly 15% of the total marks in Paper 2. Think about that. That is a massive chunk of your final grade. Mastering this isn't just, a nice idea. It is an absolute priority if you want to elevate your performance and hit those top-tier brackets.
All right, let's look at the trial docket. We'll be moving through mark scheme secrets, mastering core principles, the technical methodology, evaluation and critical analysis, and finishing up with some severe examiner warnings.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, Mark Scheme Secrets. It's time to start cross-examining the text.
Evaluating evidence and drawing conclusions is a notorious stumbling block. Our junior attorneys are struggling right now. Alex is just dumping facts on the desk, and Sam is just making sweeping, unsubstantiated claims. So what did top-performing students actually do differently? Well, the secret isn't just memorizing a mountain of facts. Instead, top candidates demonstrate a deeply connected conceptual understanding. They don't just regurgitate, they take a concept and transfer it seamlessly to completely unfamiliar contexts. For example, if the Arabic text you're analyzing discusses economic migration, a top student doesn't just list facts from the passage, they weave those facts into the broader demographic trends they've studied. They know exactly how to link their evidence to their main thesis, no matter what curveball the exam throws at them.
Moving on to Section 2, Mastering Core Principles.
To get Alex and Sam to that elite level of conceptual understanding, we have to look at the foundation. This exam is built on a very specific theoretical architecture, a structure examiners are actively hunting for in your answers. It rests on three crucial pillars: precise definitions, clear causal relationships, and seamless integration with other areas of the syllabus. Think of it exactly like building a solid legal case. If you're writing an Arabic essay analyzing environmental policy, defining your core sociological or scientific terms accurately right out of the gate, and then clearly linking the causes of pollution to the stated societal effects, well, that sets up the absolute bedrock for scoring top marks.
Listen to this. This is a direct quote from the Chief Justice themselves, the Cambridge Principal Examiner reports. They state, "Candidates referencing cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks." The takeaway here is that bridging different topics across the syllabus isn't just a bonus. It is the ultimate key to unlocking those higher score brackets. You have to prove to the jury, the examiner, that you see the big picture.
All right, Section 3, the technical methodology. This is where we get into the real procedural law of the exam.
But hold on. Before we present our closing arguments and get into this methodology, ensure your legal counsel feed is secured. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams right now and enable all notifications for weekly masterclasses. You do not want to miss a single briefing. All right, let's resume. Our attorneys, Alex and Sam, just hit a massive logical contradiction mid-paragraph. How do they fix it? By using the method mark strategy. This is where Cambridge literally awards you marks for your processing sequence. They want to see you're working. Step 1, deconstruct the question and extract your data. Step 2, apply your principles and execute your analysis. This is where you bring in that PL structural framework, point, evidence, explanation, link, to tie everything flawlessly to your thesis. Step 3, verify your results. And Step 4, present with conventions. You have to make your thought process entirely visible on the page.
And speaking of that final step, presentation matters immensely in the 10-11 basic scheme. It's basically courtroom decorum. You are expected to follow strict presentation conventions, use proper headings, deploy the correct terminology, utilize appropriate formats, and provide clear annotations. Failing to use these strict conventions is literally like leaving free money on the table. It will absolutely cost you easy method marks that you otherwise completely deserve.
Let's move into Section 4, Evaluation and Critical Analysis. It's time for some interactive jury duty.
Okay, jury, I need you to play a game with me here called Spot the Hearsay.
Examiners categorize your responses into 3 distinct levels. If you just state given information or write what I like to call descriptive fluff, you're stuck at the bottom, descriptive level. That's hearsay. We throw that out. To move up to the analytical tier, you need to compare approaches and evaluate alternatives. But to hit that top evaluative tier and truly win the case, you must make heavily justified recommendations based on your thorough analysis.
So how do you prove evaluative mastery? Imagine a 60-second timer ticking down on a complex data chart. You need to find the winning argument point fast. Evaluating evidence quality requires you to identify 4 exact elements for the examiner. First, point out the inherent limitations of the data. Second, clearly state any assumptions being made in the text. Third, offer alternative interpretations. And fourth, explain how all of these factors affect the final conclusions. Hit these 4 points and you secure full evaluation marks. Case closed.
Finally, Section 5, Examiner Warnings. This is the final verdict phase.
We've reached the climax of this explainer, the ultimate what not to do rap sheet, pulled directly from the examiner reports. The #1 crime reported year after year, candidates completely confusing the cause with the effect in their logical arguments. I know, it sounds incredibly simple, but under the pressure of the exam room, students frequently flip these concepts. Always double-check your causal links to ensure your argument flows in the correct logical direction.
Let's rapidly summarize the top 3 pitfalls on this rap sheet. Number 1, confusing cause and effect, as we just saw. Number 2, forgetting to check format and presentation, which just bleeds away your method marks. And number 3, providing generic answers that are not specific to the given context of the question. Please turn this into a mental checklist. Run through it before you hand in your paper to avoid these exact errors.
And here is the final, massive examiner insight. The reports stress heavily that candidates consistently confuse key terminology. So here is how Counsel Alex and Counsel Sam finally wrote their optimized full-mark paragraph. They define their terms before using them. That is your golden rule. You must always define your terms before diving into extended responses. It's the absolute clearest way to prove your conceptual understanding right out of the gate and anchor your entire argument.
So, here is my final verdict and my provocative question to you. Will you define your terms before your next extended response? Remember the 3 rules of evidence linkage. Identify limitations, state assumptions, and provide alternative interpretations. Apply this clear methodology to your past papers, and you'll be in an incredibly strong position to ace your Cambridge 9680 exams. Remember to subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams, click the bell, and comment below with your target level and subject. Thanks for stepping into the courtroom with me. Keep practicing those evidence linkages, and I'll see you in the next masterclass.